Hey, what's up guys? It's Phil Trigger here with another deck theory tutorial. Today we're going to talk about looking in deeper. One major problem with new players is that they don't look at the cards deeper. They think, they look at the effect, they think, oh, I can do this, and that's it. They don't look at any other possibilities. They don't explore the card per se. And today I wanted to talk about looking deeper into cards and all their major uses. Most of the cards I run in my deck are cards that you have to look in deeper. They're not just there for face value. They're there in the deck for a certain reason, and it's a very good reason as well. For example, my deck runs off of these two: Blockade and Goku. Blockade, people look at them and they're like, oh, okay, I can't intercept, so what? No big deal. That's not it. Blockade's effect allows basically me to say to you, okay, you're gonna play out units, but you're gonna lose that shield for every single one of them. Because usually you play out grade 2, you still have the shield there, you can still poke with it. It's a very good card, but you lose that value with the grade 2s, and to an experienced player, it'll make them kind of hesitate. You're like, crap, what do I do? Commit to the field or keep in my hand? And that's what Blockade does best. He forces your opponent to make a decision. Either is bad because this deck counteracts both of those, but Blockade doesn't simply stop intercepts. He makes your opponent lose shield value for every card they play, which is overall is very good, because in this game you have to find a balance between attacking and defending. You can attack too much, but you can't defend. You can defend too much, but you can barely attack with your Vanguard. Ugh, it's not good. So you have to look at these cards deeper, and you have to kind of explore what else they do and other possibilities. And that is why Blockade is so good. I mean, I'm lucky a lot of people don't see him that way, because the value him really cheap. He's about 10 right now. Honestly, in my opinion, he should be maybe a $20 card, simply because of his effect. It's very good. People also look at cards like Blazing Flare and they think, oh, I can just keep charging the soul and using the effect, and you can't do that. Blazing Flare decks generally only use their effect once with Blazing Flare himself. That's it. Charging the soul in time to use it more and more and more, it's very, very very situational, not very consistent, and it just requires too much effort. Instead of pushing for game with him, and that's why he's valued at about $30, because people see his effect at face value and they're like, oh, that's pretty good, but they don't look deeper until they play the card, and when they play it, they're like, why isn't this working the way I thought it would? Well, it's because you see the effect at face value. You don't see the long run. You see what you see. You don't look deeper. And that's what I'm trying to show you guys. You have to look deeper into cards. Our next example is High Speed Bracky. He's a 14k beater. You Soul Blast 1. He gains 5,000 plus 9,000 in his 14. Backed up by just about anything, he can break the magic number. Very, very, very solid card. But people look at him and it's like, it's okay. You get a power boost and then he goes back to deck. It's okay. The reason I check this guy is because he's a game winner. I've won more games with Bracky than I have with any other unit. It's just ridiculous. He's a 9k, which is a very solid, like stat just to go off for a general grade 2, which is not bad. But his beauty is that he wins games and he goes back to deck. People say that's bad. Yeah, you neg one off the field, but remember, he's reusable. You can draw into it, check into it, etc., and keep using him to push. If he went to the drop zone, it'd be a different story. But he just simply returns to the deck, which is very good. And a lot of people don't understand why I run Bracky in my decks. It's simply because he's a very aggressive card, and he's just very good overall. Goku. This is one of the most misunderstood cards. Goku right now is valued about, 9, 10, 8, with that range. For two reasons. One, he's a trial deck card. Meh. And two, he's just overall very, very broken. When people look at him and they see you have to drive check into a grade 3, he uses his effect. People look at that and they think, meh, it's bad, very situational, yada yada yada. Well, it's not really difficult. I mean, you run more grade 3s than you usually would. I mean, I run 2 more. It's not really much of a difference that's going to make in the deck. It still flows very well. It's not like you're needing to run 15 grade 3s, or like half your deck needs to be grade 3s just to get him off. His effect goes off very consistently. It goes off often, and it's just a very good card to have. Because if you look deeper into it, you have your 16 triggers, alright? That's already 16 cards that you can check into, and you'll get some kind of advantage. Whereas the grade 3s, I have 10 of those, alright? So 1 minus 26, 16 plus 10, is 25. So if I have Goku, I have my triggers I can check to, plus 10 more cards I can check to gain a certain advantage. Yes, it gives me a grade 3 to the hand, and I can either use it to call and basically have a powerhouse on board, or I can just ditch it for a null guard and just have free fodder for air modes and stuff like that. That's why Goku's good. He increases your trigger value. He makes it so you plus more often, and so you gain card advantage. And overall, this game is not about dealing damage, it's about card advantage. Whoever has the most cards will win, in most cases, unless your opponent stacks triggers at the ass. But, I mean, think of it this way. I have just this guy, my opponent has 8 cards in hand, plus their Vanguard, they have a full field, whatever. They swing at me, and I have 1 card to guard. Good game for me. I can't do anything, because they're in control of the game. That's mainly what Vanguard is about. You have to have more card advantage than your opponent, and that's why cards with extremely high attack are valued so well. Simply because cards that can break the magic numbers usually force your opponent to commit at least 2 cards to the field. People say, oh, I can use an Olgar and stop the damage. That's not it. It's all about card advantage. Damage is, for the most part, irrelevant. Because if I'm controlling the game, I can deal damage to you regardless. It doesn't matter. But, you know, if I'm low on cards and you have more cards than me, you're in control of the game, and I can't deal as much damage. Unless I stack a critical trigger, I'm done, and the chances of that are pretty slim. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and more content coming on the way later the week. Later, guys.